Alright, hello, welcome to the video guys. We're going to be on Corellia in the Lynx 6x6, and I wanted to show you this game. It's one of those examples of a tank destroyer player trying to get you to make a scout run in order to get him one or two shots, right? Or to try and counter an enemy light tank in a very dangerous situation where it's likely going to be a one-way trip for you. And you're going to see that I didn't fall for that in this game. We get a good shot into the charioteer, unfortunately not a pen. I probably should have just went with an APCR, but I'm pretty sure you can pen these things in the turret. With one of the HE shells, 75mm a pen, I don't think the charioteers have very good turret armor, like at all. So I figured you could pen it. However, I've also hit the FV 4005s with the HE, and I don't pen those either. It's kind of weird, man. You'd think you'd pen, but it could just be the RNG, right? But I like to come to this rock, guys. I'm not a fan of going to the middle on Corellia. I'm really not. I find, especially with a vehicle that doesn't have good view range like the Lynx, like I just don't like being out here. Literally the only vehicles I'll go out here in is maybe an even 90, you know, like LHMTV, G-SOAR, these really small, like very small, not even like T100 LT, like low to the ground. I'm talking like really condensed tiny light tanks, right, man? Like the even 90 is the best example. I will go out there in the even 90 because I know I have the advantage, but in pretty much every single other light tank that I play, with the exception of a couple, right, maybe Manicore and stuff, you guys know what I'm talking about. These tiny little tanks, I will not go out there in anything other than those tiny little tanks. AMX ELC tier 5 is another example, but I'm telling you, like, the Lynx tried to make an aggressive play here. He was eliminated. I know he's not a very good player, but he was eliminated immediately. And I'm telling you, you cannot go out to this middle area, guys, especially if you do not own the hill over here, which is around like H8, right? This is the hill I'm talking about because there's kind of a hill up here too. But this main hill over here, I'm telling you, like, going to the mid is extremely, extremely risky. You're going to see me just kind of make a quick pass here. What I'm doing is trying to figure out where the even 90 is. And I gather that information almost immediately. I make this little pass here before these guys get up onto the hill. I want to see if I'm getting spotted here, and that would imply that the even 90, I mean, yeah, he could be like in this area, but he's likely towards our side of the middle of this map, right? So he's likely either like in here or anywhere like in here, like something like that, right? Probably more to this side, just because I could have spotted him there, but the even 90s are invisible, right? I probably won't even... I will probably light him at like maybe 70 or 80 meters because I have CVS, but he has such good concealment that like you almost have to proxy these things, even running the damn CVS. I swear, man, like if they're in a double bush or something weird like that, like the game mechanics can be kind of tricky, man. If you guys really want to like understand the game mechanics, you can look up specific people that will tell you the game mechanics. Yuxin is one of those guys. I know I don't pronounce his name right. Like the last video I did with him, showing the replay he did, I got like 5 different people trying to tell me 5 different ways of pronouncing his name, and I'm like, hey man, like I'm American, right? I'm American. I mean, Whirls is how I pronounce my name, and Skill for LTU says What Whirls, like he says it with a V, right? So like we have different ways of pronouncing things. I'm American, so the way I pronounce it, you guys have to understand, like I'm not a European person at all. I don't know how to pronounce these names. But anyway, he's really good at the game mechanics, so he could tell you exactly like the range at which you would spot someone. I don't know that information, but ultimately, my main point is even 90s are invisible. They're going to be very, very difficult to spot. I am not going to be able to outplay the even 90. We don't have the hill. If I run out here, I'm facing a Minotauro. I'm facing whoever's on this hill. T30 can practically one-shot me, right? Like these tanks, like these are not tanks I want to be messing with, man. This is a tier 10 game. And finally, we have the Su 101, you know, complaining, Scout idiot, you know, Lynx, WTF are you doing, and all this and that. And I told him, like, I'm living, like I'm staying alive. I can't go mid without the hill. Like, you can't, if you lose this, I'm telling you, going out here is suicide. You can try and push the north. Like I can really, if I really wanted to, I can help like this WZ and stuff. But I've decided to help the important part of the map in my eyes, which is the south. I find that the south is very, very important. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm putting all these shots into the Conqueror and trying to spot people in this area. And I'm also trying to eventually counter this Minotauro. You'll see me doing that because you can actually take these shots from here. They're very, very difficult for me to take. but I will get one or two into the Minotauro, and then I think there's another tank that pulls up this way as well. And as these guys push, I want to get the damage, right? And yeah, man, this SU-101, like, I'm not saying he's an awful player. He looks like he has an average W and 8 of like around 1,000. Like, it is what it is, man. A lot of these tank destroyer players will just, they, even if they kind of understand the way light tanks are supposed to be played, they always feel like you should be spotting all the time. Like, damage doesn't mean a thing and all this. And it's like, dude, at this point, like, we have to start doing damage, right? The only way we're going to bring this game back is by doing damage. I have 415 view range. I can't be spotting this enemy team. I can't counter the even 90. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble if I try to run out here and counter this guy with all these big guns here. And as an example, I actually did this before, right? There was a game that I played before this one in the links on Corellia where there was another tank destroyer sitting in this area and he was getting countered by a lynx, and I ran out there and I lost all of my HP. I was at full HP, and I think I was a one shot, like maybe 200 HP when I came back around through this ditch and came up to this same area, and then I played the game exactly the same as you're seeing me play it here. And we're kind of spotting the T-30 here, we're getting all that spotting, but this is the thing, guys, is like when you lose this hill, people don't understand how risky it is to go out here. There's still Borisk that was unspotted, I think, up until now, and then he appears here. There's an RHM still out there. Like, if I go out here, man, even the Borisk can hit me twice. If the Borisk hits me twice, I'm a one-shot, right? Like, you don't want to just throw away your HP, man. Eventually, the Sioux is kind of able to spot these guys. I think I do hit the even with that shot. We'll see in the end plates. But it's like the whole team is pushing in, right? And you have to understand, guys, that, like, you can't just run out there in front of all these red tanks and expect to survive that play, right? You just can't do it. And the SU-101 is like, I kind of feel for this guy. I get it. He didn't retreat in time. Now he's in trouble. There's nothing he can do. But you can't just sit there and crap on the light tank for, especially the wheeled light tank, for not trying to counter an enemy even 90, right? If anything, that would have been the LHM TV's job, because that was the light tank that was on my team, and this guy died, like, at the beginning, and he didn't really do that much. So it is what it is, man. The LHM TV went to the hill. Like, he did what he did, right? Like, really, in my eyes, if he was going to play this better, he could have went to the mid, or at least just stayed alive, and he could have been spotting right now. But instead, it's up to me, right, to at least try and spot the enemy team. And you have SU-101, like, useless POS links, and like, this is the way people are going to behave, you know, when they don't retreat in time. So I'm just showing you guys this. It's not like, I'm not trying to rip on these tank destroyer players that are average players that maybe don't fully understand the game, but it gets to a point, man, where it's extremely frustrating when you're a decent player and these people will just constantly continue to, like, take these shots at you, man. Like, you're so bad at the game, you're so bad at the game, and it's like, dude, look at the map. Like, do you really... These people truly believe that you can go out here and, like, somehow make these active scout runs and survive. I just don't... to this day, guys, still don't understand people's mindset with that. It's like, even if this were a real life situation, like, are you just gonna run out there and, like, risk getting literally blown up by an enemy tank just to, like, you know, give some information for your... For the army behind you or whatever, you know? It just doesn't make any sense, man. Like, why would you throw away your tank like that? Why would you throw away your HP in the video game? But why would you throw away your life, you know, doing that? Like, this is just the way it works to me, man. Like, you need to conserve your HP, and it's exactly the same as if you were in a real battle, like real world, like, war, man. Like, you don't want to die. That wouldn't be very smart. So why are you going to suicide to give you know, people on your side information, right? It's better to stay alive and try and do it safely, right? But anyway, guys, this guy is just going on and on and on, like, and then the Lorraine is trying to say, like, I'm not spotting, and it's like, dude, I can't go out there. Like, do you see what I'm facing, right? So we have to kind of just wait for this team to push in. There's nothing I can do. This is the safest area that I can find. Eventually, what I decide to do is go after the links here. Unfortunately, I missed the shot. If I were able to hit this HE shot into him, I might have been able to clean him up here and then keep running away, but I end up missing the shot. I'm able to clean this guy up, though, and then the CC is able to clean up the T10. Eventually, we're going to lose this game, but I did 4,300 damage, and we also got some spotting, and it's just like... I can't, like, don't do this, man, if you're a baboon, but I said make sure this 101 looks at the end plates so he can see that I did over 4k damage, right? We had a blind shot into the even, and I think even another shot, and it's just like, dude, you're never going to make these people understand. Like, they always think that light tanks are supposed to be spotting 24/7, and the reality is, in this game, guys, could I have played it slightly better? If I were a Unicom player, could I have played it slightly better, and could we have won? I think so. Absolutely. I'm not a Unicom player. I think I played it really, really well. I was passive, I was defensive, but I'm telling you guys, like, I should have saved the replay where I actually had this exact situation happen, and I ran out here with my links to try and counter the enemy links and ended up back in this little ditch line as a one shot, right? I wish I could show you guys that replay so that I could prove to you in the same video why this is such a stupid play to run out here in the middle of the open and be exposed to the hill and whoever else is out here, right? I'm telling you, just sit back and do damage, man. You can sit by these rocks here. There's like a bush. If you're in a passive scout, you can get into like one of these bushes, spot these people coming in, right? Or you can try and sit like in these areas if you want. But with the links, man, it's like I don't have any view range. So I'd rather sit over in this area, use hard cover, and spot these guys as they're coming in. And we did get a little bit of spotting from it, but it's like you can only do so much when your team gives up the entire map, man. You know, we kind of won the north. Maybe I could have went north with these guys and tried to help flank instead using my mobility. This is what I chose to do, guys. I chose to come back and try and defend the southeastern portion of this map. Maybe it was the wrong play, but I can tell you what certainly wasn't going to be the right play was running out here and Suis scouting, right? Don't ever do that. Ignore these tank destroyer players, man, that want you to like run out there and, you know, do all this crazy Suis scouting and just play your game, man. Don't respond to them like I do, man. But like, it's like when you do this for years, guys, you just get so like, I'm at the point now where every time someone tries to question my light tank play, unless I played a horrible game, which is rare, like it happens, man. If I played a horrible game, I just ignore it. It's like, whatever, man. I sucked this game. I have to just move on and take the criticism. But if I'm ever making a play that I know is really, really good, like I know it's the smartest play, I will immediately get in the chat and say, whoever it is, what would you like me to do right now? Like, tell me the play that I need to make that's going to please you, right? But I'll say it in a specific way in the chat, and they never have a response. Like, these people never have a response. Go spot, idiot. Like, they don't even know, like, what play they can't type out what play they actually want you to make because they don't even know themselves. So just another one of those examples, guys. I know this is a pretty long video. It's getting pretty long. I'll show you the end plates, but I really want to make it clear that I'm not trying to crap on people like this. I'm just trying to explain to you guys why Suis scouting is such a stupid idea and why you should not do it, right? And it's not to say that you have to play as defensively as I do and as passively as I do, but I would highly, highly recommend that you do not play extremely more aggressive than I do, right? It's just not going to pay off, and I'm telling you, in the end, you're going to wish that you didn't do it. So in my eyes, it's always easier to be more defensive and passive at first, and then when you see a situation where you can be aggressive or you want to be aggressive, you can do it, right? You can't get HP back, but you can use HP later on in the battle if you didn't use it at the beginning, right? Making another play. So just my 2 cents on it, guys. You know, I'd much rather have all my HP at the end of the battle and have been too passive and then use it then and there than to lose it all at the beginning of the game. Second class game, 43-12 damage, 12 module damage, 2 kills. And I mean, we were stomping this team in terms of damage. I just wanted to get probably a little bit more spotting out of this. I would be okay taking a little bit less damage and doing a little more spotting. But again, you only have, I don't have it on the end plates, but it's like 417 view range with this setup. Bounty vents, bounty optics, full brothers in arms. Like I'm telling you guys, these vehicles have no view range. So it just, it's challenging, man. It really, really is. But we were top by experience here by quite a big margin, actually. And we were top by damage. And that's how this game ended up, guys. Again, I played it the way I played it. Could we have made a different play? Perhaps, but that's all. That's all I wanted to talk about in this one. Is just really, really emphasizing that whole, like, don't sue a scout, man. It's not smart. You're going to be much better off conserving all your HP for the middle and end of the battle, especially the end of the battle, guys, because this game was really, really close, right? I hold right now a 57% win rate in this vehicle. After this battle, I think it's 58 or 59% right now. I actually really like this vehicle, man. I've been doing a lot of damage in it, but even if you thought that this wasn't the right way to play, you can't argue with like a 58 or 59% win rate, right? If you're getting that, you must be doing something right in the vehicle. So this is why I tell you guys, just stay alive, man. I'm telling you, you're going to win more games if you stay alive. So hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a thing or two, guys. I will catch you for the next one. Take care of yourselves until then. Bye-bye.